numbered in the hundreds of thousands, are no more. All told, nearly 1 million Jews have fled Arab countries and Iran, and hundreds of Jewish communities have been ethnically cleansed.
Behind every intimidation, behind every silencing, behind every persecution, behind every beating or murder of Jews from Arab lands, behind every property sequestered, behind every assets seized, behind every bank account blocked, we're talking about the historiography of an entire community.
If I say, who are the Middle East refugees, people don't think at all about the Jews. All that people think about are the Palestinians.
Many people ask me, why do you call yourself forgotten refugees? It is interesting to note that in the history of the Middle East, we have been totally cut out of the picture.
The United Nations General Assembly since 1947 has adopted 687 resolutions on the Arab-Israeli conflict. 101 of those resolutions dealt with refugees. But all those 101 resolutions dealt with Palestinian refugees only. It's astonishing to realize that not one resolution, not one of these resolutions ever dealt with the issue of Jewish refugees from Arab lands.
So it was change of population between the Jews and the Arabs. Both of them were refugees.
והעובדה שלא הקימו, למרות העושר הרב, אף יישוב, אף מושב, אף עיר פיתוח, כדי לשקם את הפליטים, היא מעידה יותר מכל על כוונות הזדון של העולם הערבי. יותר מזה, העולם הערבי כן שלח כסף לפלסטינים, אבל שלח להם המון כסף, מיליארדי דולרים, כדי לרכוש נשק, כדי לנהל מלחמות עקובות מדם נגד ישראל, כדי לשפוך דמים. ב-55 שנה הם שפכו פה כסף אך ורק כדי להוביל להשמדתה של מדינת ישראל, ולא היו מוכנים להשקיע אפילו דולר אחד כדי לשקם את מחנות הפליטים.
About 50% of the Jewish population today in Israel is made up of Mizrahi Jews, Jews like myself who came from the Arab countries. We are the face of Israel.
Anti-Semitism now in the Arab world is 100 times worse than when I lived there. It permeates every sector of Egyptian society and Arab Islamic society. In the mosque, in the school, in everyday conversation, on television. I don't think there can ever be peace unless they can become more tolerant towards their own cousins, the Jews.
I think the only path to peace is when people can open their hearts and listen to the stories of everyone involved. And this means both the positive things, the points of connection between Arabs and Jews, where there's an overlap of culture, and also the points of oppression.
Peace will not depend on my belief. Peace will depend on certain things that have to happen. First of all, accommodation. That is to say, the Arabs have to realize that the Jewish state is here to stay and to make peace with it, and then to negotiate the terms. We want this, we want that, that's legitimate. But if you want to destroy your neighbor, you can never have peace. That's my main problem with them. If there is a recognition and accommodation, the sky is the limit. Everything is possible.
We are here, Jews from all over the world. We are not just from Europe. And this is our culture. And we have to transfer it to the next generation. It's part of our life. It's part of Judaism.
Only when the state of Israel, this is the only shelter, open its gate, we have the shelter, we have the house, our house in Israel, and I am many proud, much proud, to be Israeli, much proud. My grandchildren, grandsons, granddaughter, all of them are serving the army, and they are contributing to the state of Israel as a whole. I wish that the peace takes place between us, between the neighbors.
The peace will come, will appear, must, because each human wants to live. All human wants to live. He wants his family, his children to continue living. And if we continue this way of killing each other, of these troubles, and so on and so forth, I mean, there is no hope for them, there is no hope for us.
We were really the forgotten refugees, and nobody talked about us. And, you know, we were really humiliated, and we didn't get much attention also. So we swallowed our pain and agony and moved on. On the one hand, it actually improved our situation in integrating in the Israeli society and establishing a new life. But on the other hand, we felt like a great injustice has been done to us.
We don't want to be forgotten anymore. We want to tell our story. We don't want our heritage, which is 3,000 years old, which is rich, to be forgotten. We want our children to remember us, so that we can perpetuate the memory of all these 1 million Jews who were kicked out of the Arab world and who will never return, بدون رجوع.
The Arab governments have taken away our homes. They've taken away our culture. They have destroyed our communities. But they can never take away our spirit to fight for justice.
What's important to me is that the stories of everybody be told, and that everybody's history be recognized and everybody's rights be honored.